we are, and welcome everyone to day 3 of the Connecting the Dots 4-day online series. I'm so excited to have you all with us. My name is Markera Featherstrong, and I am a life coach specializing in love, self-love, relationship love. I just love love. I created this series to delve deeper into the connection of what we witness growing up in relationships and how that affects the way we function in our own relationships as adults. My coaching and even some of my personal experiences have made this a pivotal point in order to facilitate small but radical changes resulting in positive outcomes for both myself and my clients. In the search for love, things can get trauma complicated when the foundation is not set or reinforced as we enter this world and get older. However, many of us do not know this and often do not seek help in this area. Continue to tune in as we discuss getting stuck in the loop of the same relationship, different person, and share tips on what we can do to awaken our own awareness and stand in our personal power. You can learn to recognize what you already know, release what doesn't serve, and reset to move forward to create better love relationship experiences. I've totally lost track of how I met our guest today, but I just know it was through Facebook and lots of mutual friends. One thing I do know is that this beautiful Take No Mess soul has been a major dot connector for me. Hey, Stanya, welcome to Connecting the Dots.
Hi there, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, how did we connect? Like I know it was Facebook, but I can't even remember the first conversation or which friend because we're exactly, it's almost like we're all meshed together.
Exactly. I couldn't remember either. So Stanya is a certified life coach, founder and chief training officer at Eve's Journey Life Coach Training Institute. She has almost 2 decades of experience in creating and facilitating training workshops and seminars. She is the creator of the self-uncovery process and has pioneered the me mapping technique. She is renowned for her uncanny sense of humor and intuitive observations. She has built a reputation for her ability to help persons get clear about who they really are and take steps toward what they really want. Stanya holds a Bachelor of Science in Psychology and served as an assistant psychologist at the Ministry of Education here in the Bahamas from 2002 to 2014. She was also the host of Tell It to Stanya on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Whew, 2 decades. It don't
I
look
know,
so.
I feel like my old head now.
No, I read that and I was like, 2 decades? Like, no, Stanya don't look like she carrying all of that.
Hey.
So tell us what you do and why you do what you do.
Okay. Well, of course, as you shared, the name of the company is Eve's Journey Life Coaching Institute. And so I work with women in particular, men as well, but women in particular, there's so many things that we go through as women. Now, I'll say this, for the most part, most of the women find me when they're having issues in their relationships, when they know that either the relationship is, they want to get out of it, or they recently experienced a breakup and they're trying to figure out like what the heck, and they just want to move forward with their life. So that's a huge part of the women that I see. Of course, I see women with other issues, but I would say that that is probably the bulk of women who may contact me.
Okay, so you also do life coach training as well.
Yes, I do. Yes, of course, I do life coach. Look here, all kinds of things, tired body, yeah. Yes, I offer life coach certification as well. And I also work with companies offering training for new employees, new managers. But yes, also the certification. And the certification is all about helping people to get from where it is that they are now to where it is that they want to be. And of course, where they want to be is in a position where they're helping people. And I think that's, I love that part of it, because then in my mind, what I'm doing is that, I'm sharing my light with them, and then they're going to go out there and then they're going to do the same with other people. And then we can hold hands and just skip into the sunset, all healthy together.
The end, or just the
Yes.
beginning.
Yes. Now, I'll say this, a part of the program, whether or not it's certification, whether or not it is working with managers and employees, or just with my clients who come to me, one-on-one. No matter what it is, the program is based in self-awareness, self-discovery. And for that, we go all the way back. Now, coaching is about the present, of course, moving forward, but my degree is in psychology. So we go back, no matter what it is, because buried in our journey is a whole lot of information about how we feel about who we are, how we show up, and the crap that we settle for and take in. So it's my job to uncover that or help you to see that. And once we can do that, once we find out where your stuff is coming from, then we can move on. And the crazy thing is, a lot of times I'll be doing this because a lot of your stuff ain't even your stuff, girl. It's your mama stuff and your daddy stuff and the stuff that you collected. So we got to give mommy and daddy back their stuff and figure out which stuff is our stuff and then move forward.
I agree. And it's so interesting that you said that, because it's in working with you, even though I don't have the degree in psychology, it's the connecting that I've been doing all along and not realizing it. So even in the way I raise my children, I look at things I have done, things my mother did, and I try to guide them towards something that will serve them better. And like, it's almost like not letting them make the same mistakes, but
Right.
letting them make their own fresh mistakes, like based on their own view. Like, don't make the mistake because I saw it this way. Do it your way and see what happens. And then you could formulate how it goes from there. And it was a lot of triggering for me to realize, yes, I was carrying some of my mama's stuff, some of my sibling stuff, some of my daddy's stuff. And I think that's how the series came about as well, to help people realize, some of that's not serving you, so let it go. So one of my questions for you is, how do you help is this something your clients come to you knowing or having an idea of already? Or is this something that you have to guide them toward looking into?
Well, I'm a little tricky here. So when they come to me, they don't know where their stuff is coming from. They just know that the same thing sometimes keeps happening again and again. For example, meeting or dating the same kind of person, or the relationship keeps ending the same way. Or let's move away from the intimate relationships. They notice too that sometimes even with friends or people in general might be moving away from them rather than moving closer towards them. It's almost as though they get in trouble for being themselves, or they hear a lot that you're too needy, or you're too bossy, or like to call it the two woman. So they just know that, okay, something ain't right up in here. The same thing, something is not right. So they're not quite sure what's going on. Like I said, they just know that people sometimes are moving away from them rather than towards them. And then they're getting in trouble for being themselves. They feel as though they're bad, or they did something bad. They're the bad one, or, simply that the same thing just keeps happening. So for me, my job is to figure that out. So they're not quite sure, as I said, what's going on or how I'm going to do this. So even when they come to me for relationships or whatever the heck happened, they don't know that I'm going to take them all the way back from when they was itsy bitsy and somebody poked them in their bum bum. They don't know that that's what we're going to do. I remember a client one time saying, and we even get to talk about the boyfriend, and all I said, because it's not about him. It is about you. This is the uncovering process. These people are just characters. They are just signs that something is not right. What's going on is just a symptom. We have to get to the root of what is going on. And so it's my job to help them or guide them through the self-discovery process of finding out or trying to figure out, why do I feel this way? Why do I or finding balance? Because also, I mentioned the too needy or too this. There's nothing wrong with being who you are, but we have to find the balance. And then we have to uncover, well, why do I feel insecure? Why? So my job as a coach is to answer the why, or to figure out the why for them. And then we move forward and then skip off into the sunset.
So what is their reaction like when you do this? Because it's almost like being a mirror. And a lot of us, sometimes it's hard to look in that emotional or characteristic mirror and be like, we just keep glossing it over, pushing it away. What kind of reaction do you usually get when you do this with your clients?
Well, a complete breakdown. Well, look here.
Oh
You know,
my.
we'll see, you know, you said it earlier when you described me, you said take no mess. And you know what? I kind of chuckled to myself, because that's like me, little soft me, right? But but you know, it is what it is. So yeah, I mean, I try to be as gentle as I can. And my clients actually love me for the, you know, or as I said to a gentleman recently, I was like, okay, now I'm gonna do your butt in, and then I'm gonna love you up afterwards. Yes. But for them, you know, I think we've been kind of brainwashed too to think that self work or self care is just, you know, painting your toenails, going to a nice restaurant, and it looks so good and nice and sweet and all this stuff. No, self care is about going into the dark places, the crevices, the very that space, that inner space, that hurt, that pain, going behind the wall, is digging all that stuff out, being in that dark so that we could get to the light. So they have the epiphanies. Is it easy? No, but they have the epiphanies that allow them to move forward. The Bible tells you, I did see, y'all think I didn't go to Sunday school? My care, I've been to Sunday school. We've been endured for the night, but joy comes in the morning, which is light. So for them, it is, but it is an awakening. It is a cleanse. It is refreshing, because now they know, they get it. And once you have that awareness too, you know who you are, you're comfortable with who you are, and also you don't allow people to put their stuff on you too. So they now have a better relationship with other people, and they have a better relationship, most importantly, with themselves, because we are who we came for. We came for ourselves. And even with the certification, we work, or a part of the program, we go all the way back, because they came for themselves. I came for people who are with me, who are just like me. I started Eve's journey because of the issues that I was having with my parents, with my father, and by extension, relationships in general. You know, just like you, even now, you know, I'm always doing like a 360 approach to myself, where I'm taking a look and I'm like, oh my God, ooh, oh, this mommy stuff just came up. Oh, that's daddy. Okay, no, excuse me, sir. Or in the words of my client, he said, like I said, I do have male clients. He said when his mom came after a session, he said, mommy, open that door and take all your stuff and take it with you when you go. And of course, the mommy's like, I don't live here. What are you talking about? What stuff? What? All your stuff, in the words of my life coach, and please take that with you, because I had enough. So it is an epiphany for them. I think it is it easy? No. But after they do that, they now know and they understand too. And it is really liberating to understand why. Why do I do this? Or where is this pain coming from? Sometimes they're not even aware that the pain was there, because it happened in childhood and we buried it so deep within, so deep. We don't, and the only time it comes to the surface, as a matter of fact, is when people trigger it, but we don't know where it's coming from. So it's actually refreshing and a release for them eventually.
Yes. Well, I can attest to you being a take no mess type of person, but it's done in love. It isn't an abusive,
Yeah. No.
degrading process. It's
Yeah.
I'm holding your hand, squeeze it if you need to, and
Yes.
now I can gradually pull it away so you can start on your own.
That's right. Get your bogey out this nest. That's right.
Because it's time for you to fly.
Yes.
So are there a lot, do people have hesitancy going through the process? Are there people who stop and start? Is it, you know, because it's
Um,
hard coming to the realization that you're not standing in your power. And then when you present the person with what they need to do, sometimes it's overwhelming. So
okay.
is there like, are you that gentle in like taking it baby steps? Are there people who stop and start, or who just stop and you don't hear from again?
For the most part, the people who come to me, they're ready for it. And like I said, I'm very supportive. So I'm with them every single step of the way, even between sessions. So they have unlimited access and support. Um, I'm sitting here thinking back over my clients, and there may be one or two, a very small percentage that ran away. And even when they ran away, they still came back. So I knew that they were not ready. And so, of course, I have to respect where they are and what it is that they choose for themselves. So when they were ready, they came back. And in many of the cases, it was just it wasn't ready for many reasons. I mean, it was things that happened that was really so traumatic for them that they were just not ready to face that. And when they were, they came around. But for the most part, my clients are ready to do the work, and that's just how I like it. Let's do it. Let's get to the bottom of it. So they do it afraid. Yeah, they do it afraid. And then we get a good, a lot of times they cry and all this stuff when it comes up. And then we laugh about it and then we move on. And then we get to creating the life that we want. So for me, working with people, it's about, not only taking them from where it is that they are to where they want to be, but beyond where they even imagine that they could be.
Okay, that's that. Yeah, I understand that. So, do you see a lot of situations where when people stand in their power, how does that affect those who are already in relationships? Do you see those who are they're able to either re-navigate the relationship, or do they sometimes end a relationship once they realize who they truly are, what they truly need?
Well, all of the above. Sometimes I work with couples, not all the time, but I do work with couples every now and again. So for some, they moved on together and some ended up moving on apart. And then sometimes when it breaks up, they hate my guts. But
I was just about to ask you. So for the ones who break up, do they come back and be like, "You got to say what you got"?
well, no, well, you know what? Not so much of one gentleman comes to mind right now. I think he went through his phone and he saw me saying some things to the wife. He's like, "You said this," but look, it's my job to be truthful and honest. People are not paying me money to sugarcoat. Oh, see, I'm going to say something a little the S word to sugarcoat crap. People are not paying me to do that. People are paying me to be honest with them and truthful with them. So if I see something that doesn't look good, I have to say what it is. Because if I don't say what it is, then you're going to continue onward. If you do what you've always done, then you're going to get what you always got. So, yeah, that's the best way for me. But sometimes they move forward together. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes working with people, they end up moving away. So for example, there have been people, they came in, they wanted to, like I said, you take them from where they are and beyond, where they even thought that they could be. One person wanted to leave their job. So they ended up not only leaving their job, but they left the country.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, one ended up in Canada, then another person, they ended up in the UK. Then another person, another lady, she ended up, so many things happened. So I don't have any control over it. I am just here as a guide, and I'm letting or allowing my clients to make the decision and for life to support them as well. I know that sounds kind of woo-woo-woo airy, but we're on this journey. And so sometimes the journey takes us beyond where we thought that we would be, which is what in this case is usually a better place. And even when the ones who are angry at me, years down the line, I've had people come back and they say that, okay, well, I didn't have an appreciation for what you said or what we did, but now I do. So even if the relationship ended, I mean, love is still out there. All it means is that you're not supposed to be with that person. It's life redirecting you on the path that you were supposed to go. Because there's no way that I cannot break up anything. I cannot. Love is so strong that if you're supposed to be with someone, you will be with them no matter what.
I agree.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because across the board, I'm realizing more and more to be a whole person and to be aware affects so many different facets, because even though you're coaching clients who have issues, I did life coach training with you, and even with that, you went back into some things I wasn't really expecting. And
Yeah.
it's like, I trained to be a life coach. Why
I
are we
get it.
discussing this? How you get here? Like, why are you here in this? Like, leave that alone. We supposed to be over here. But it just brings that full circle connection
Yeah.
that you cannot serve if you're not aware
Yes.
of your own issues. And you cannot call yourself helping someone through their issues if you've not processed your own
Yes.
issues.
Yeah, and I mean, and as a helping professional, that's why I said earlier when I said I'm always doing a 360 of myself. So even if I do something to anyone or a client or whatever, I'm like, okay, well, did I show up the way that they're saying? And you know, or why did this trigger what was triggered in me? So I am always like, people ask me, well, how do I heal or how do I grow or whatever? I grow through my clients too, and I grow through life experiences. Or I mean, you know, I'm figuring stuff out. We are always figuring stuff out. This is what life is about. It's about us discovering who we are. And a lot of times the discovering of who we are is about discovering who we are not, you know. So this is a process, and a lot of who we are was conditioned. It's conditioning, it's mirroring, it's all these things that we would have seen as children, experienced from our primary caregivers that we took with us. We are uncomfortable, or sometimes we don't feel good enough because way back when, our parents, you know, intentionally and unintentionally told us that we were not. You know, I can remember, Mom, I'll give you an example. My parents or my family always say, you always talking our business, Mom. We won't tell you nothing. When you're on the radio talk, you always talking our business. But I can't really talk my client's business so much, so I can use my own. So I could remember, you know, Mommy, I got an A, Mommy. And Mommy would say, Stan, why didn't you get an A plus? Mommy, I lost 5 pounds. Tanya, why didn't you lose? You could lose 6 or 10. Now, of course, she's not doing that to, you know, make me feel bad or whatever. But what it is that, you know, whatever I do is not enough. This is the message being sent. And a lot of times we don't understand as parents or people in general, I mean, I only say parents, people in general, we don't understand that it's not so much, it's what we say, yes, but it's a message that comes along with what we say. And so so using that example, growing up, it now, okay, no matter what I do, it's not enough. Also, I have to do a lot. I have to go overboard to achieve things. And I see that sometimes. This is why even when I said that I give my clients unlimited support and all this, because I'm always doing extra because I'm used to this. This is my default system, what I've had in place. Now it's worked for me in terms of allowing me to connect with people, but it also is, you know, my Achilles heel too, because you're giving too much.
I
Or
just was about to ask you,
yeah,
how do you balance that out?
but you have to, because then too, what starts to happen is that you'll create now this black hole. And the black hole is something that can never be filled. So it's, you know, nothing. And it doesn't only stop at me feeling as though I am not enough or I'm doing too much. It also shows up in my expectations from other people as well, where I'm expecting them to go overboard to, you know, so in relationships, how this is going to look is that no matter what your partner does, it's not enough. So in us being abused, and that's me using, I don't want to use the word because I wasn't abused by my parents. Well, maybe, no, just kidding. But I'm just using this as an example. But we now become the abuser. We become the abuser in many cases by abusing ourselves, by keep doing and giving to people who may not deserve it. But we become the abuser too, in terms of how we treat other people, because sometimes that will seep out too into our children, into other areas where we're expecting these people to give so much of themselves. And so, and then when they don't go that extra mile for us, we dead mad. We dead mad. Okay. So, but that's coming from the place where this expectancy that was put on us or that we got from in childhood. So there's so many things that show up as a result of our conditioning of what we've heard or what we've experienced. As a woman, or another example, let me spank up daddy too. My dad would talk about weight. Yeah, my weight. And so, I'm a big girl. I'm a big girl. But I mean, I big with G-Man. When I think about it though, I realize that, yeah, I want to lose weight, of course, because, I want to be a sexy MILF for the rest of my life. Yeah. But I don't really have a problem with my weight. Like, I know that I'm beautiful. And my mom did such a good job in terms of us being comfortable with our bodies. But my dad would, he would say things or do things or, just some things that he would have done. And I had to realize that, wait, hold on now. It's daddy stuff. I'm holding on to this. I don't really have a problem with my weight. I know I'm beautiful at any size. Okay. I know this. But there were times when, because of the things, the chatter, the noise that I would have heard from him, that I thought that this was a huge problem. I thought that, oh, I'm not getting things, or people are not attracted to me because of my weight, or I'm not even getting a job because of my weight. When I had to realize that, no, this is daddy issue. This is not Stanya issue. And not only that, it is a lie, because I have no problem attracting men. Hi, hello. I have no problem. Yeah, hi, hello. I have no problem getting a job. As a matter of fact, I created my own. So it's a lie. And so we have to also realize when our stuff comes up, when we have these feelings or these thoughts, we have to really be in touch with ourselves and say, hold on now, wait for a minute now. Is this true? Is this true? You know, as simple, oh, nobody loves me. Hold on, wait. Is this true? And 9 times out of 10, it's a doggone lie. We are loved. There are people who accept us just as we are. There's nothing wrong with us. Do we need balance? Yes. But outside of that, we are imperfectly perfect.
Perfectly said. Because we're
Yeah.
all works in progress.
Yes. Yeah.
And
so
it doesn't end.
no. And that's why, I don't work on trying to change people. I work on helping them. We'll see how beautiful they are, and to really find the balance in who they are. So sometimes, even someone, let's say, I know you ain't gonna believe this. I was told I talk too much.
I got that all through school. Every report card from
But
preschool to high school.
but it serves a purpose. And it serves a purpose because now you're okay. Or I remember they would say, oh, you're too bossy. But okay, we are life coaches. There are times when we have to kind of tell people stuff. And so, or even talk too much. I had a talk show. So that was life preparing me, God preparing me for me to be who I was created to be. Now I have to remember to find the balance, because you need to shut up a big mouth sometimes, or not tell people what to do, allow them to figure it out on their own. So everything about, all of who we are, this is how I look at it. My daughter and I, this is my younger daughter, this is what we came up with. It's almost like it's a number line from 0 to 10, or even in the negative. And sometimes you have to adjust where you are on this number line. You have to know when to go to a 7 or a 10, a positive. And sometimes you need to know when to bring your bungie down to 0. You have to know these things. So this is what life is about too. It's about also understanding who you are and knowing when to bring that part of who you are forward. And even the part that you would have gotten in trouble for, the part, that serves a purpose. It really does. As my mother calls me right now, she must see Amy was talking about her. Go on.
Yeah. We can wrap up in a minute. I want you to give 2 tips to our viewers for ways they can start making that connection for themselves. What 2 things can they do to make that link between what it is they've witnessed growing up and how that relates to how they're functioning now that may not be serving them, that they're stuck in that loop of, I just been through this with the last person. This person's supposed to be so different. What happened?
Well, there's so many things that I could say. Well, for starters, you have to decide what it is that you want for yourself. Where is it that you want to be? Working with a recent client, with in a relationship, and so the relationship isn't working, and so we were going over, okay, qualities in this person and qualities of the past people that she would have dated. And so she said some things, and I was like, look, I'm looking at this, and I'm trying to see if I have it here with me, because it just happened. And I'm like, you don't have anything here about the character of a man. You're talking about surfacey stuff. You're talking about this person being able to take you out and all this stuff. You're not looking at what it is that you need. And so she's saying, well, I don't even know what I need. So I said, you know what, let's start with the same person here. What would you like from this person? Let's go with the opposite of who this is. And so, okay, so as we're talking and even having conversations on the phone, following her up the other day, and she's like, I just need clarity from him. So I was like, oh, that's one we got to put on the list. You need clarity when you're in a relationship. Yeah, that's number 2. Okay, right. So you have to, so I think what it is that you have to talk about what it is that you need from a person. And also, I mean, well, hold on now. We talking in regards to relationships, my care?
Well,
Just a on
just
the whole
I guess how whatever we've witnessed growing up, how that affects us in general. Then let's not just narrow it
well,
down to relationships, because
relationship.
once we deal with ourselves as a whole, then that'll change the dynamic of everything else we pull
The
in.
first thing, honestly, is truth. The first thing is that you have, you know how they say you can't handle the truth, or well, it is really because truth requires action. You have to literally say, this is who I am, or this is what was done to me, this is what I saw, this is where it hurts. You have to share your story. You have to say this is what it is, or you have to simply even say that I am not well. Something is not right. You have to speak the truth. You have to say that this isn't working for me. I don't feel good. I feel like killing myself sometimes. I don't like where I work. I'm not happy in this relationship. I am not happy with myself. I'm not happy with my weight. You have to first say what it is. You have to speak truthfully about where you are and about how you feel. That's the first thing about it. You have to admit it. And then after you admit it, then there's so many other things that you have to do after that. Because if you don't know, you can find my care or find myself, and we'll guide you through the process. It is because sometimes we cannot do it on our own. I nibble on my nails. I nibble on my nails, and every time I'm like, oh, I'm gonna grow my nails, and I'm just gonna put the little gel on it to make it up. Yeah, I end up nibbling it. So I gotta go to my nail tech, and I need how to put these nails on, because if not, it's just gonna go to smithereens. I've admitted this. This is true. I have a problem. I need to go to Nail Biters Anonymous. So I had to admit it, and then I decided to do something about it. So you have to first admit that this is where you are. And I know that may sound easy, but it's not. It's very hard. You have to say, this is what I am. And then from there, you can take it into different aspects, because I'm not sure, what might be going on. For me, the process is about uncovering, okay, where is this coming from? Why do I feel this way? You have to ask yourself these hard questions, and really, and not be afraid of the answers. So also in working with people, I train them to listen to that inner voice too, that intuition, because we do have the answers, we know what it is. Sometimes we are afraid of it. We are afraid to take that step, but there's nothing to be afraid of, because when things don't work out, once again, all it means is that life is redirecting you. It has another course. You went off course, and it's time for you to come over here. Life is trying to teach you something. Life is telling you that this isn't who you are. You deserve so much more. Don't be afraid. And even if you are afraid, do it afraid. Life is trying to give you information about moving forward. That's all it is.
Nice. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up here, because I could see where we'll just
And we'll be here all
it's
day
so
talking.
yes, it's so easy to keep going because there's so much
Yeah.
little bits and pieces that come together.
Yes, ma'am.
But
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
thank you so much.
Thank you for
And for
having me.
those of you wanting to get in contact with Stanya, I'm going to drop a link below where you can click and find out more information on how to get in contact and where to find Stanya. She's amazing. And tomorrow I'll wrap up with Akita Akara Aurora, a spiritpreneur who specializes in energy clearing and shamanic journeying. Thank you.